Thank you, Stefan. And to fill our 20 minutes, I'd like to introduce to you some very brief legal questions about search engines and youth protection. Because being a lawyer, I always have to talk about the law, so it comes naturally. Search engines gather information automatically, so they don't produce them. They just take all the information they can get from the internet, and they collect them all. They take all information that is available, and they don't select it. They don't take only this information or that information. They just take all information into the index. They provide to you, the user, they provide to you information based on mathematical algorithms, and there is no editorial staff who, once again, selects the best, maybe, information that you would like to find. And they link to content, but they don't understand what's on the target site. The search engine cannot see whether the target site is illegal or is unsuitable for children, or is a very nice website. They just don't know it. And that's why this is why providers of search engines are legally not responsible for the search results, and not even for the snippets or for the previews that you just show on the screenshot. And this is why, this is because search engines just mirror the internet. They just make available what is already there. And this is why the content provider is to be held liable for the content of websites and not the search engine. But what can search engines actually do? As there is no legal obligation to do anything, they just can undertake voluntary actions. One of the voluntary actions that you will find on any search engine, on almost any search engine, is the Safe Search feature. Here is a screenshot as an example from Google. Once you go to the advanced search options, you will find the Safe Search feature, which you can adjust to fulfill your needs. So you can say, no, I don't need any filtering. I'm an adult. I'd like to find anything that's available. So you can turn the Safe Search feature off. You could turn the Safe Search feature to moderate. On the moderate setting, the search engine will look or will provide for that there are no unsuitable images or videos to be found with a search engine. Or you could put the slider up to the far right-hand side to the strict filtering, and the strict filter level also the text of the search results will be looked into, and the search engine will try not to show you unsuitable or illegal or inappropriate content while you're searching for something. So a very brief example from what we do in Germany on the voluntary side for search engines. We have developed a code of conduct together with all the German search engine providers. And one of the obligations in this code of conduct is to provide information on the functionality of the search engines. They are obliged to invest in media literacy, as we can see in this lesson module, where our member Google invested quite a lot of money and also working hours to produce this media literacy module. And here comes the party piece. The search engines have implemented a module that contains all the websites that are on an index in Germany. There is an index which is administered by a public institution, and on this index you can find a lot of websites that contain all sorts of glorification of violence, xenophobia, Nazi propaganda, or even extreme pornography. And to prevent these websites from appearing in the search engines, in the search results, the search engines just implement this module, and when you're looking for a word or a sentence that would usually lead you, or normally would lead you to a website that's actually on the index, this website will be omitted from the search results. So it looks like this. The user puts his search request, sends it to one of the famous search engines, and all websites that are contained in the module, because they're illegal or extremely inappropriate, will not appear in the result page. So this is all we wanted to tell you. Thank you very much for your interest, and I don't know if we're taking questions right now or if we do it later. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this presentation. No doubt, search engines is one of the biggest source of the information for children, so it's very important to be aware of the threats. So thank you very much for briefing us on the good practices when it comes to the regulations and making sure that search engines are safe. Websites, do you have any questions to the speakers? And if so, please do ask the question. I have the question to Mr. Lawyer in Germany. What happens with the search engine which does not fulfill this code of conduct? Is it blocked, or don't you have this possibility that if somebody cannot use the search engine .de, he will just use search engine .pl?
Of course, you could easily switch to a search engine that is not within our code of conduct, but it's quite difficult. So trying to use, as the example, Google from a different country, you need to know some tricks. And only if you try really hard, you can achieve this. So to give you the example, when we were putting together the slideshow for today, we were trying to use screenshots from google.pl, and it was quite difficult. So whatever I did, I always landed on google.de. So I had to ask a colleague who was more tech savvy than I am. But we have a very good tradition working with these codes of conduct. So we providing these codes for a large range of industry sectors, and we always try to put all the main players of one sector together to sign our codes of conduct, and we never actually had a problem with that. So all the search engines that are available in Germany, well, the large search engines, which are used frequently, are members of this code of conduct, and they stick to the rules of this code.